Hey everybody, welcome. Welcome to the stream. Bump that up a bit. Hopefully the audio is good. Okay. I just did a little bit of stuff off stream, just got the gantry kind of all buttoned up here. Hopefully we'll be able to do a pretty decent stream here today and get a lot of the rest kind of going. I would like to get the Z all sorted and working. Get the belts ran. Hopefully I can reuse the belts from my original Rook 180. That would be great. But yeah, we'll stream for as long as I have parts for the most part and hopefully get pretty far. Hey, welcome. Bastion parts are on printables. I think this is the only part that's missing on printables, and it will be today. I need to make sure it works before I print it out. I did fix the hole size on this part, so it was only 0.4 millimeters off. Heat set should still work fine, but hey, 3D Experience, welcome. Welcome, Dave. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. Should be a pretty fun stream. I got no commitments today, so we can stream for longer. Hopefully at least a 2-hour, maybe 3-hour stream will depend on how it goes. Hey, Canrog, welcome. So the idea here is we're going to start with getting all the Z belts ran, get the motors mounted, get all the Z tensioned and ready to go. I don't have long enough screws to mount the bed, but I will mount that once I order some special like chamfered M3 bolts. I have some silicone spacers, but they're pretty tall and I don't have M3 long enough to fit, so. But yeah, welcome everybody, and we will go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna just finish bolting up all of the Z here, and then like I say, we can run the belt. So I'm just gonna make myself a bit of room here. We'll get the bed out of the way so that we can bolt this all up finally. Hopefully I can run the gantry belts as well today. So let's get some M5 by 25s and we'll pop them in here. How's everybody's weekend going? Well, I can't even MacGyver it with Kapton. I don't have the bolts. I mean, I could bolt it directly to the PLA, but that probably wouldn't be great. It's not a big deal because I won't be printing today with this anyways. So what probably will happen is we're going to try to get as far as we possibly can today on stream. I'm going to wrap up a couple things off stream. Then hopefully next Saturday, this guy's going to be printing, and then we can kind of hang out, do some prints on here, make sure everything's working well. We'll talk about the config file, all that kind of stuff. But I know we won't get printing today, but next Saturday we should be. Oh no, Canrog, get to sleep. Get to sleep. So we're just finishing bolting up all these Z parts, get them nice and buttoned up here. There are heat sets on the bottom here, so everything's nice and secure. Hey, Printer Prawn, welcome. There we go. You can see our Z is like incredibly smooth, working very, very well. So now we need to button up the side of these, basically the middle and the rear part of the Z. So we've got these all buttoned up. Yeah, sleep's overrated. All right, there we go. 2 more screws, and then the bed will be all kind of mounted securely. Everything's got heat sets, so it's nice and secure. Old relative, you're not old and retired after. All right, there we go. So our bed frame is all nice and securely bolted up. Sure all this is buttoned up nicely. All right. So I think next step is to mount the motors. So we're going to pull the motors off of my old Rook. And like I say, hopefully I can reuse these belts. I'm trying to reuse as much as possible. All right, so let's take these motors off. The old Rook. Take these feet off. Of course, I don't have the... Nothing's mounted in there. All right, there's one motor off. It's nice to get all this hardware back too. All these bolts. Get this motor off here. Hopefully I will have a YouTube video out this week with Bastion printing, so I can kind of let everyone know that it's on printables and ready to go and stuff like that. Hey Pavlo, welcome. Go. There's another Z motor out. Might as well take this screw out while I'm here. It's nice that I had the Rook 180 original still built because I can reuse most of the hardware. There we go, 3 motors, and then I can reuse these feet as well for another project, which is nice. Alright, so got all these Z motors out. So we can now bolt them up. So let's tip this on its side here. We'll get this motor mounted. Can't really see that too well, but there we go. I have a Monster 8 that's going to go in here. Let's put it this way. All right, is it 3x6? Yeah. M3 by, or 12 millimeter rods. They're very beefy, very heavy. They add a lot of strength to the frame. It's not M3. What's this? Can I just pen dimensions to fit rectangle bed? Yes, you can definitely. It's pretty scalable. Just change the dimensions of Panda in 50 millimeter increments, and then you can just adjust your linear rail as at the same time too, right? So just go by 50s, like kind of standard sizes, and yeah, it should be okay. Let's see if this will work here. Looks like M3 by 12s, which I don't have on my desk. Hey, welcome, Michael. Where are my M3 by 12s? I do not know where my M3 by 12s are. Oh, wait, 16, 20, 25. Oh well. I should have some M312 in here. There's one. That's a 16, I think. There's another 12. Another 12, alrighty. Scrounging up as many parts as I can here. Well, I was able to find 4 M12s for the rear motor, but we're going to have to find some more for the other motors. I don't know where my bin for 12s is. If maybe I'm out. Which would not be great. I am definitely getting low on hardware, I guess. I used to have a lot more hardware, but I built so many printers. My hardware is dwindling. I gotta make another bulk order, but unfortunately, I'm trying to not spend money because I'm not employed right now. So I'm trying to just reuse as much as I possibly can. I don't want to be spending money on stuff if I don't have to. Well, there's one motor mounted at least. I probably have some M12s somewhere in my printer graveyard or whatever. So be able to steal some of those. Okay, so that's the rear motor. I think I'm gonna try to get the belt mounted on the rear too at the same time. We'll do a motor and belt, motor and belt. It's too early yet. I'm not. Next week is when I'm going to start sending out resumes and stuff like that. So we'll see how it goes. Okay, I got my Z idler, which we'll put in now as well. But I do need to put heat sets in these right now, so we'll get my crappy soldering iron all sorted. I always like to cannibalize printers as much as I possibly can. Reusing stuff, I'm a big fan of reusing as much as I possibly can, regardless, so. And we need 3 heat sets. And I need some idlers. I mean, as much as it pains me to say, I'm probably going to build this printer, do a YouTube video on it, do another stream next Saturday, and then I'm going to be taking it apart. Just because I need the parts from it. I need the bearings, I need the bolts, I need everything from it. So it's going to live for this week, and then I'm going to be cannibalizing a good amount from it probably. Mainboard, bearings, and bolts. I'll leave the frame all assembled and I'll be able to get it back up and running if I have to, but it's going to get cannibalized probably next Sunday. But I wanted to make sure it's working very well and there's no issues with like the printable stuff. I've printed everything and it should all be good, so that's why I was comfortable releasing it on printables, but I wanted to know as much as I possibly could about it before. Because Canrog actually made this MK1 version of the Rook 180, and I haven't built one, so let's see if I can actually get a heat set in there. We'll use the old trick, thread a heat set onto a M3 just so I can pull it down into the hole. And I should grab my square. Where that is, there we go. Oh. Hey Martin, welcome. Hey, welcome. No, you'll get the CAD as well. I just got to upload the CAD. I always will release the CAD for my designs. I just did everything last night, and there's like these are missing from printables, and then the CAD I need to just do a quick once over, make sure it's all good, and it'll be up probably today. There's 2 heat sets done. And then I do have the printer on Onshape, so you guys can take a look at it on Onshape for building purposes. So you can take a look at the CAD very, very easily on Onshape and kind of get an idea on how it goes together and stuff like that. So. All right, we'll turn off my soldering iron so I don't burn myself, preferably. All right. So now, are these the right size? Yep, that'll be perfect. So the Z of Bastion does use 20-tooth idlers. Hey, Matthew. Yeah, Bastion is finally going on printables. I just had so much stuff on the go. I'm trying to do Panda content, Panda Mini and stuff like that, and just too many things at once. There we go. So, what size of bolt should I use here? Let's just set this over here for now. The bill of materials is pretty much the same. It's been up. It's up on the printables page. It's ready to go. Again, just note that some of the nuts and stuff like that, like the bolts and whatever, might not be 100% accurate. I'll be updating that as I go a little bit, but. The bill of materials hasn't really changed a whole lot. There's a couple more bearings, but other than that, it's not a huge amount. Walking the dogs in a hurricane, wow, that's not fun. I mean, the Delta's going to be soon. It just really depends on how long Panda and Panda Mini take, really. Okay, so that's too long. Jan, hey, did you take any design? No, the 100 came after this. The 100 was based or inspired on this and the Rook. So for whatever it's worth, the 180 and the Rook came first. Not that it's a huge... I always get asked that comment, and yeah, it's the 100 came after this and is inspired on this. No, I would not recommend 8mm rods for the Z. The whole point of the frame of this is you need really, really large rods or much beefier and heavier rods. You want 12mm rods. I mean, it's very possible 8mm would work, but... Alright, so that's good. Got it just so the idler starts. Sorry you guys can't really see a whole lot here. I'm trying and rotate this so you can kind of get an idea. So I literally just threaded it on just barely, so I have the maximum amount of tension. Yeah, the 100's an awesome printer. Matt did a really great job on the 100. It's very cool. It's his own thing. He took some inspiration, as we all do. So yeah, it's an awesome printer. Okay, so I think I can. I gotta adjust that pulley, and I don't think I can do that. So let's see if I can find out the distance of the Z really quick. So it is 6.424 for the pulley. 6.424. 0.424. Let's just tighten this a bit. Good enough. I think the Delta's going to use rods. I already have the CAD started, and it has 6 rods for the Delta. However, I want to try and design the mini Delta to use IGES bearings so it's quiet. I don't want the Delta to be a loud mess, and linear rods can be very noisy, linear bearings and stuff like that. So I'm going to try to design the mini Delta in a way that you can tension the IGES bearings very easily and that it works very well, but we'll see. I've struggled with IGES bearings in the past, but I'm trying to get it so that I can get them to work. And I do have some ideas, so. Hey Mitsubishi, welcome. So let's loosen up this pulley and get it correctly aligned. So I'm going to flip this around. All right, so wondering if I should. Nah, it'll be fine. Okay, so we want to set this pulley to be roughly 6.5 as best as I can get it. Right about there. And I do highly recommend you Loctite your pulleys. I'm not Loctiting them because this printer is going to be taken apart probably by Sunday, so it doesn't actually matter. But I definitely recommend Loctite your pulleys onto your motor. Yes, yeah. IGES bearings are very, very easy to get. They're cheap. They're very hard to use though, because they have to be crushed for them to roll and not have a ton of play. And it looks to be, it's difficult to get that correct. So there we go. That's much better. And let's pop all the bolts back into this guy now. Yeah, I need the parts. I'm going to need the parts, so I'm going to... We'll get it printing on stream. I'll do a YouTube video on it, and then I got to take the parts from it. I cannot be spending money right now, so... I'm going to leave the frame and everything assembled, but so I can get it back up and running when I'm ready. But I'm going to be taking... Yeah, I made sure my connector is good on that one. Yeah, Panda has pulley alignment jigs. There should be a pulley alignment tool for this as well, for the Z and for the X and Y, certainly. All right, so that's all mounted. The pulley's aligned properly, so we can hopefully use the belt from the old Rook 180. So this is the bed from the old Rook 180, and we're going to try and steal the belts from it. Fingers crossed they're still the right size. I do have belts, but I just want to try to reuse these if I can. All right, let's see if this... All right, fingers crossed that this belt works. Hopefully. Okay, so you can see how nice the Z moves on this. Yeah, I'm crazy cheap. Even if I had a job, I'm crazy cheap. I really like to recycle and reuse stuff. See if we can loop this around here. Go. Oh yeah, perfect. We definitely can reuse the belts, so glad I saved them. What's the best way to show you guys this? It's not ideal, but plenty of room for the belt, so we can definitely reuse these, which is awesome. All right. Yeah, maybe I can just put it like this so you can see a bit better. All right, so feed my belt in and use a small Allen to kind of fish it around the printed loop. This can be tedious, but it's usually not too bad. So there's one loop fished around there. Pull it through a little bit. Yeah, we got lots of belt here. And I will need zip ties. Some zip ties. Yeah, I've got a huge drawer of belts too. Sunlight is coming through my window. that time of day. I've got a huge drawer of belts to Mitsubishi, but I need those for Panda, a second Panda build, and also Panda Mini build. So I don't want to use them if I don't have to. Michael, wow, thanks so much. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, really appreciate it. All right. Now to get the other belt looped around, which is usually the most difficult part because we have the other loop in the way. But we'll see what we can do here. Okay, this needs to go under. You can also, if your belts are long enough, you can kind of feed it through and then loop it back around. Is usually quite easy to do. There we go. So I have looped my belts around. We got lots and lots of room, which is really great. Yeah, I'd love that too. To win the lottery or do this full time would be amazing. I'd be able to spend more time on making sure the printers are awesome and iterating and just making sure they're incredible, but that's okay. I've got some time. I can play around with them a little bit and do some cool stuff. There's a lot of cool stuff coming on the channel. Panda Mini is in the works for the release candidate, or Mark 1 Panda Mini is going to be really cool. There's going to be some updates to Panda, and then I'm going to be working on my little Delta, DIY Delta, which I'm very excited to do. So there's a lot of cool things coming, and don't worry, we'll make progress. And for the time being, I've got a little bit more time to work on that stuff, which is really cool. So let's loop this around. Oh no, don't go back in there. You want to get these belts as tight as you can without using your tensioner yet. That way you have the most tensioning capability still left. So I'm going to secure this one side really good. Oh, nice. Yeah, the Predator's not a bad printer stock. Definitely putting clipper on it was like the biggest change. The Marlin or whatever that came stock was just like all sorts of messed up. Probably not the printer's fault. It was probably like the previous owner. They changed like the hot end and all that kind of stuff. It was really screwy. Alright, so let's get this as tight as we can. All right. So we already got that quite tight, and I haven't even started tensioning this yet. Yeah, winning the lottery would be amazing. Just finished calibrating it. Yeah, the only other disadvantage I think Mitsubishi on that Predator was the motion is a little bit loud. Oh, okay, yeah, flying extruder, definitely very popular on the performance-oriented. Perfect. All right, so I'm going to make sure my zip ties are really good and tight before I cut them. Luckily, zip ties are really cheap if we got to re-zip tie something. That's good. And I'm not even going to cut any more off of the belt. We'll leave it nice and long because it doesn't interrupt the motion at all. Welcome back, Canrog. Glad you survived the hurricane. Yeah, Phoenix was like butter smooth. Like it had no sound. I don't know. I forget what it is on the Predator that was so loud. Like it uses linear rails, if I remember. But yeah, it was very, very weird. So we barely have to turn this M screw to get this nice and tight. We've got lots of tensioning room in there, so awesome. I'm very happy. We've got our rear bed belt all done. Great progress. Now we can start mounting the other motors, and I need more M3x12s. I am out. Okay. So I need this, and I need this. Sorry, I'm going to be in front of the camera for a second. All right. I've got more recycled parts. Let's try and find all of the M12s that I can. This is Panda Mini parts, and it looks like it's mostly M5s in here. I probably won't use that, but I think there's a couple M12s in here. So let's see. Yeah, there's one already. So we need 4 more M12s. I don't think there's any M12s on there. That is not M12. That is not M12. A lot of M10s. This is the final version of Rook 180 called Bastion. It is on printables right now. Yeah. I ordered a bunch of, a year ago, I think, I ordered a whole bunch of M3s from Granger, which is a really great place to get bolts and stuff like that. I ordered like $100 worth, and I had like 100 of every size. And it was only $100. It was very, very economical, and I will do that again. But for now, we have to scrounge. I'm sure I have more M3x12s, probably in my printer graveyard. I will be back, and I'm going to go check my printer graveyard for some more M12s. All right, I found some more hardware, so we'll see. I think there's some M12s in here. At least I thought there was. But they might be M10. Yeah, those are M10s. Yep. All right, well, we're going to use what we can find. I didn't think I was that short. Let's see, M16, maybe those will work. And there's the sun again. There we go, fixed. All right, let's see if M16 work. Those are way too long, I think. Let's see. We'll do a test to see if it bottoms out before. I'm pretty sure it's going to bottom out. Yeah. Yeah, it's got to be M12s. I've got one M12. Here comes the sun. What do I got up here? Are these M12s? Maybe we can steal from Rook Evo. Nope, these are not 12s. What about on the back? I'm sure there are some M12s on this printer, but oh, no, these are too long. That's too long. Haha! Victory! I found some M12s. There are some M12s on here, apparently. We can steal them from Rook Evolution. Alright, so there we go. M12s found. Hey, Matthew, thanks for gifting subs. Appreciate it. Yeah, technically 2 promoters, so I'm going to use these sparingly. All right. Okay, before I bolt this on, let's set the distance with my calipers, which is 6.424. All right, there we go. So we can set this. This is almost like perfect, it looks like. We will fine tune it just a bit though. That is probably true. All right. Okay, M12s. Let's pop these guys in here. No, don't drop them. 2 is good enough. Of course, I had it the right way and now We gotta change the orientation. That's better. Okay, is that cross-threading? Yes, apparently. Why that is. Why is this not going in now? All right, I think I probably cross-threaded this, which is not great, but oh well. It's good enough. Perfection. Hey, Lol the Kittison, welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right, that is good to go. So let's move this a bit. Actually, I'll move this. All right, so that's perfect. Let's get my other tensioner, bolts. I've got 99% of the parts at least. Get our M5 or our idler here and our M5x16. I do not remember what size of go. Okay, so I need these two 12s. What length did I like for this? Should be fine, I'm sure. Okay, where is my... Again, we're basically just gonna get the threads just started so we have as much tensionability as possible. Well, everything now prints perfectly. All the holes are fixed, so I have nothing else to print. Everything's printed. So all the printed parts work. Long as the gantry belts line up, which they should, I don't see why they wouldn't, we should be good. Okay, belts, more belts. We use this guy. I am very excited to use Dragon Burner on this. Dragon Burner is going to be a huge upgrade for this printer because you can now use pretty much any hot end and extruder you want, which is a big help. Yeah, I ran out of filament. I started printing this in like a green PLA that I had, and then I was like, I definitely don't have enough to print, so I just transitioned over. I wish it was all the same green. It would have been much nicer, but okay, so this is going to go under. Per cooling is quite nice. It's pretty solid. I mean, this printer is not not for insane accelerations or speed. Dragon Burner will be very adequate for what this printer was designed for. Yeah, there's a huge gamut of parts, like of quality of life fixes on this printer. Mainly, like, tensioning is way better. The Dragon Burner tool head is much better, so you can use anything you have on hand for hot end and extruder. A lot of the parts don't need supports anymore. Like, most of these parts needed supports to print. That's all gone. Heat sets all around now. It's just much nicer. Absolutely. No, don't pull out. Don't pull out of that. I should have zip tied the one first. So I have the... Let's get a zip tie. Dump all the zip ties all over my table. Tighten that. Pass around. Oops. There we go. Try to get this as tight as we can. That way we have as much room for tensioning as possible. All right. That's not bad to start. All right. Clip these, and then we'll just put a little bit of initial tension on here. Perfect. You want your Z belts very, very tight. Like, they are supporting the Z, so you want them nice and taut. That's perfect. Yeah, it's gonna be awesome to see the Rook build. That's gonna be pretty cool. Okay, one more Z belt left. Let's. How do I want this? Think like this. even though this is mostly PLA, it's quite weighty with the 12mm rods. All right, final motor. Let's set the pulley distance. Let's get this a little tighter. There we go. Yeah, you for sure should do the build on live stream, definitely. All right. We will orient this. Oh no, can I fit this in here without unbolting the power supply? All right, gotta unbolt the power supply. Not a big deal. All right, take that off. Pop the motor in now. Put in my very last M3x12s. All right. We will put the power supply back. Don't worry, 3D Experiments, I've got lots more ideas. There's definitely no shortage of ideas for sure. All right. Power supply back on, motors all mounted. So I want to flip this like this. M5 by 16. Perfect. We will use one of these for the M3. And final belt. All right. I'm still really into like compact small printers like 180 and less. So I would really like to experiment more with some printers in that size. Make them really unique, you know, mostly 3D printed, what have you. I think there's still a lot of cool ideas to experiment with, especially with small compact printers that are still usable. I really do like the size of the Panda Mini. Now that Mark 1 version is going to be a full 150 by 150, I think that is a pretty nice size. And then 180 by 180 is still my favorite. So I think there's a lot more printer designs that could be in that size range. Zip tie this. Go. This guy around. Okay, so get this nice and tight. Perfect. Could have probably got that a bit tighter, but I've got plenty of tensioning room left, so we'll do a couple turns of the M3 and we should be good. Excellent. Oh, I forgot to do a heat set right here. The heat set's just dangling there from last stream. All right. Perfect. We will tension those up a bit more once we get the printer all sorted. All right. So let's do the heat set that I forgot right there. Where's my let my soldering iron warm up there. I think next thing we'll do is we're going to mount the XY motors, get them all bolted in. Hopefully they're not M12s or M5 or M3 by 12. Well, we can filter some from Rook Evo, I guess, if they are, but I want to say they're going to be like M3 by 10 or less. And then once the motors are mounted on, we will go ahead and hopefully run the belts. I think we can run the XY belts, make sure that's all good. Can assemble the tool head, get that all going. And then, like I say, basically off stream, I'm just going to mount the Rook 1 or mount the Monster 8 and flash clipper on it. Kind of update the config file, make sure it's nice and it's got a lot of comments in it for beginners and things like that. And then next live stream, this guy will be printing. So Alright, there we go. That he said is done. Okay, so I should be able to put this guy back up. Actually flip it like this so I can get the motors mounted. So I'm using some older, these are like older E3D motors. They don't even have like a shaved shaft for the pulleys, so you gotta like really tighten the pulleys on. And I just had some 10mm wide pulleys, which I'm gonna keep using. They'll work fine, but okay, so I might have to flip the pulleys around. Where's my other one here? So this is my low belt. I'm gonna flip these around, I think. Yeah, I think this will be perfect like this. All right. So let's see M3 by 10s. What these are like. That might be okay. I think these are 8s, but we'll see. If it bottoms out or not. It's going to be pretty close. That looks like M3 by 10 will work. Hey, Hybrid Robotics, welcome. All right, so another M3 by 10. This will be interesting to get in here. Okay, let's slide. And tip this upside down, I think. Motor's motor's falling out. I need to get right here. Make sure the motor's nice and secure. Oh, did these bottom out before? All right, well, that motor's mounted. It's a pretty cool printer. All right, so this motor is all mounted up. Yep. So now we need to do the other motor. Can I get at the... Okay, I should be okay. All right, so let's get this motor in. Okay, put this upside down again. And I need this one. Oh no, I can't. Oh, can I get this in? Yes. Just barely fit the M10 in the slot there. These nice and tight. Filling closed Bastion, yep. Okay, so motors are all mounted. I think we can run belts. All right, so I'm gonna be running these motors pretty low current. Obviously this is PLA, we don't want these super hot, and this printer's not gonna print fast enough really for these needing a lot of current. The motion is like effortlessly to move, so there shouldn't really need to be much. So yeah, I think we can run belts. I have my belt clamp. We do need to put some heat sets in the belt clamp, so let's get the frame on the floor. So we're going to put some heat sets in this guy, and I do have my tool head printed for this, and also my extruder mount. I am using the HGX Lite extruder with this. It's very inexpensive. I think the extruder and motor are 40 bucks Canadian. The motor's different sizes. They're the same. It's just CoreXY. One motor has to be taller. Yeah, Canrog definitely put the time in for MK1 for sure. Okay, so got my tool head. I do need to steal a fan from another printer, but I don't think I'm going to worry about that this stream. And then I do have a Sherpa Mini extruder mount. So this extruder here, the HGX Lite, uses the Sherpa Mini mounting holes. So anything that will use a Sherpa Mini can use this extruder. This has really nice large gears like the Orbiter 2 or something like that. Or LGX or whatever. I think it's the LGX actually. So we need to put in 2 heat sets on this guy. And basically there's teeth on here. This will clamp onto, you can't see that because it's overexposed like crazy, but where's the belt clip that you are just about to use? It's just this printed belt clip part. So there's no tensioning on the tool head. So this is just a clamp for the belts. The tensioning's on the front. But we do need to mount that too. And I do have some bearings here that we can use. Okay, so we're gonna let this warm up. I'm gonna go grab the tensioners. So here are the tensioners for the Bastion. So we have basically these idlers, and they're going to be pulled in on the frame to tension the belts. Much, much better than Rook 180. The Rook 180 did have them in the front, but it tensioned both belts at the same time, which is not great. And so we'll pull these bearings out because I need to steal them, of course. Yeah, and I need my other screwdriver. Not that one. Where is my... I just need to go find my other screwdriver for this bolt. I'll just use my bigger Allen, so I'm not looking all over for that. More bearings. Okay. So heat sets. We need 2 for this. And we need 2 for each of these. All right. There we go. It's all good. And we're going to put in the heat sets for this. It is definitely a really cool printer for sure. I think Bastion or Rook 180 is almost a year old now. I made it shortly after Rook because I wanted a little bit larger printer with a printed frame. Okay, so this is good. Done. The CAD is not on printables yet. It will be tonight. So I'll make an announcement on my Discord. I just have to export it and upload it. However, if you're just using the CAD to build the printer, you can check it out on Onshape right now for free. No, you don't need an account or anything like that. Just go to the printables page and click on the link to go into Onshape. I think I have the link on my Discord as well for the Onshape view, so you can get a 3D view of the printer. It's very helpful for assembling and stuff like that. So, okay, I don't think... Usually making a Mark 1 version of a printer definitely takes a little bit shorter time period, but I have no idea where I put the belts for this printer. Maybe they're over on my other table here. Where did the belts go? I have a brand new thing of pouch belt for this printer. But I don't know where I put it. Part of not being prepared on stream, I guess. This is not... So this is power grip. So this is Gates belt, which is a little bit wider, and I don't recommend Gates belt for bearings because it is a little wide and you will get rubbing. Pouch belt is a little bit thinner belt and it fits the bearings a bit better. So I recommend going with pouch. I just don't know where my roll of pouch is. I have my Monster 8 for this ready to go. Some Aegis bearings. It's not this. I do not have a clue where that is. Motors for this. I'm a little bit annoyed now. I do not know where I put the belts for this printer. I have a brand new roll of belts just specifically for this. Did they fall somewhere? Huh. Well, I might need to end the stream here, I guess. Because I do not know what the heck happened to this roll. Because I ordered 2 rolls and I have them. And one is pouch. No, not this long. Because the belt path on this is a little bit different. And I want to use the proper belts. I don't know. I don't remember what belts I used for the original Rook. And I ordered some pouch belt for this printer because, like I say, it's not as wide as normal belt. And for the life of me, I had both of them in that drawer, and now I don't know where. I must have taken it out and set it somewhere, but I have no idea where that would be now. Because this is Gates. It's not on my desk. It's not on the back table. It doesn't look. Huh. Well, that's unfortunate. I had... I've got to just be blind or something like that. I had it in here with my other belt, but it is... It's gone for some reason. Huh. Sun again. I don't know how many times I gotta move this thing. Hey, welcome. Oh, I don't really want to end the stream. Because I know I have the belt. That's the dumb part. And it's not on my table here. I don't have it down here for some reason. And I didn't use it for any other printer or anything like that. I move it down here for some reason. There shouldn't be any belts in here. Here. I mean, I have lots of belt in here. It's just not the stuff that I want to use for this printer. Because, again, this stuff I think is too thick. Not the right size. I mean, it would work, I guess. We'll see if this is... I don't even know if this is long enough. Let's try. We'll move along on stream and we'll see if this is going to work. Maybe I forgot it on printables. It should be on Discord. It should be on the Discord. Okay, so let's just try and put this on. So I want... Is it M10? Okay, I'll have to put it on printables. I don't know why it's not on there. Always forget something, I guess. Okay, I think this is... Oh, did I miss heat sets? Or is there heat sets in there? Yep, I need to put more heat sets in. All right. Some more heat sets are required. Let's get my soldering iron out. I don't know where that belt is. Yeah, I'll put it on printables. It should be on there. I don't know why. I don't know why I forgot. I don't know what I did with that belt. It didn't fall down or anything off of the bench. I don't see. Okay, so we're going to need 4 heat sets for the clamp. Might even be easier to run the belts with the printer on its back like this. I'm so annoyed about that stupid belt. Okay, so this is going to go like this. There's 4 heat sets that go here. So I guess I got too many printer parts. I can't find what I'm looking for. Let this get nice and warm before we put the heat sets in. While I try to think of where the belt is, because I would really love to use brand new belts for this printer. Yeah, that's typical CoreXY. I mean, they can be the same height, but you just get much more room for the pulley if you have them spaced a little bit. You can see on the Rook, the motors are a different height as well. It depends on the belt routing and stuff like that. And it depends on the spacing between your 2 belts, how high the motors have to go or how high the pulleys have to go. All right. There we go. Those are all installed. Oh man, for the life of me. That's really annoying that I don't wear those belts. We'll let those heat sets cool for a little bit. Yeah, I do need to let it go, but it's just bugging the hell out of me now. Anyways, I can rerun the belts off stream if I have to. I just kind of wanted to. Okay, so hopefully this belt is long enough. So we'll feed it through here. Alignment looks quite nice, so we will just roughly clamp it for now. So let's, is it M3 by 10? Oh, M3 by 10 is way too big. Do I have smaller? Yes. This on. This thing moves so easily. So we'll just hold it down for now so that we can run the belts. Actually, I will put this up so you guys can see a bit better. Well, hopefully. It's very difficult for me to show the belt routing. I don't know if I can get a better angle on this so you guys can see routing of the belts a bit better. So right. It does look high. Maybe I need to space the bearings up. The idlers do look a bit high. I'm just trying to figure out the right spacing here. Okay, so let's run the belt around the pulley here. It's very easy to run the belts. There's lots of room, which is really nice. I think my spacing's wrong though. I just want to see what this looks like here. This is going to run around the back. This belt might be long enough. No, this belt is not going to be long enough. Oh, maybe it will. So this is going to go around here. Ooh, just long enough, I think. All right, but I think I have the spacing wrong. All right, so let's loosen this. do here is we're gonna try and feed the belts through. There we go. So luckily this belt is long enough. So we're just going to bolt this on just for now. All right, so I'm going to just do a little bit of tension and see where we are here for alignment. I need to tighten the belts more. Can get the belts much tighter. Grab my pliers. All right, so let's turn this a bit. Maybe, can I get you guys? Sorry, I'm going to try to sneak you in here so you can see a bit better, hopefully. No, it's definitely not similar to aluminum. It's definitely not going to be as rigid as a 2020, but it's still quite good. And for the speeds that you're going to be printing at on this, it's a nice trade-off, right? You're going to save about $100 on the frame, depending on where you live, and you still get a functional printer. I wonder if I can pass them through. Trying to get this to come out the front so that I can grab it. Get much better tension on the belt. That's more, that's looking better. Use the Allen here as a guide to get the belts coming out the front. Ideally, you would do this with longer belts, but I don't have that luxury at the moment. So where are we on tension? We need to be a bit tighter. Yeah, I want to get these nice and taut before I commit to locking them down. I'll redo these after the stream. There we go. Okay, let's tighten that down because that's pretty good. definitely would have longer belts than this when you do it, when you run it. All right, I haven't even tensioned the belts yet, and they're pretty good. So we need to make sure, you want to make sure that you have them inside the actual, in the middle of the bearing. I just pop that one up a little bit. This one's good. So that's all good, but now if I move this forward, I think I'm too high on the idlers. Actually, no, I think that's good. All right, no, that looks good. My spacing is good. All right, so there's one. I'm not going to actually tension yet because I don't have the other belt ran yet. But I'm pretty happy with that so far. And we actually did get an okay amount out the front of the gantry, so that's quite nice. And I've got lots of room to tension, so we're looking pretty good there. And the belt looks nice and straight. So looks like my spacing's quite good. So yeah, if you guys are using F695 bearings for the Bastion, you want to make sure your bearing is all the way at the bottom and you have one washer on top. PTG is a bit too flimsy for a rigid frame, like for having a rigid frame or needing a rigid frame. Got grease all over my hands here. All right, can I find another belt length that would work? Oh, maybe we'll go right here. Looks like I used this for something, but we'll measure it and make sure that it's the right belt. Okay, yeah, this belt should be fine. All right, we have enough belts, people. We can do this. Oh, this is my old belt from Panda, actually. Because I actually had to extend it. I used the zip tie to extend this belt for Panda, so this is a very long belt. This is for a 250 size printer, so this will be totally fine for this guy. Okay, now I need to try and feed this through without loosening the other. These are the right length. Let's just get these started. So let's loosen the top bolt. And hopefully we can feed in this belt. Just gonna go here. Okay, let's see if I can loosen this a bit more. Alright, I'm going to have to loosen this up a bit more. Hopefully I don't lose all my progress here on my belts. Your belt clamp is too good, Canrog. It grips the belt so good I can't even like slide it in unless these are like completely out. Which will okay, let's just see here. All right. Okay, got that through. Pull that through. We're going to clamp this side. Just ever so slightly. Yep, no, the clamp is robust and it definitely is not going to cause any problems with the belt slipping or anything like that, so that's good. All right, so this is going to go around. Let's rotate this. Yeah, it is. I like how nice and open the belt path is. It's super easy to run the belts on this printer. I used this belt before, so it's got a bit of a curve on it, but we can work with that. Turn this around. Good. There we go. So I'll flip this back around so you guys can see a bit better. This is going on top of everything. This is sitting on here. What the heck is this sitting on? Do not pull. Okay, that's going to be too loose. Okay, I'm going to pull the top here first. If I can. I promise this is much easier if you have much longer belts. My bottom belts are way too short for this. All right, so let's loosen this a bit more. So you see how I can pull the belt all the way out the front with the proper actual size. Check you later, 3D Experiments. Thanks for joining. So now I can get these bottom ones on here. I'm just gonna clamp it like this, at least the bottom anyways. And we'll pull the top tight, because I think I can tension that, hopefully. And that top belt is pretty good. To make sure that that's, there we go. Okay. What do we got here? A bit more. All right, I think I'm happy with that. We're going to lock this down. We want this as flat as we can get it. Make sure these are clamped down really good. There we go. Belts are ran. Everything's on flanged nice. That's perfect. So we can just do an initial tensioning here. We'll put our gantry at the back. So we can definitely tension this quite a bit. The bottom loop here. Let's pull this in. Try to get the tensioning as even as possible. We're pretty good already. Hey, Additive Adam, welcome. Yeah, I think this bottom one could be a bit tighter for sure. I still think that's probably a little bit off, but I'll have to fine-tune the belt a little bit more off stream, but all right, so that's pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. I think my alignment's still a bit weird on the one side there, but I got to double check to make sure I've got the right bearing spacing in. Yeah, because that all looks really good. If I go over on this side. Oh, do I have one wrong on this side? No, that looks right. There. Seems okay. All right, so the next thing that we have to do, I guess, is we'll assemble a dragon burner, and then we can install the dragon burner on here. I'm going to just take the frame off of the table here. And then we will grab dragon burner here. So I have, this is just a temporary bamboo hot end. Hey Taijin, welcome. This is my old bamboo X1 hot end. I'm just using it for like mock-up and stuff. We'll install a new one. And we will mount the extruder here as well. So let's get this off. So this is the bamboo mount. Just move this a bit more here. So this is the bamboo mount here. This is an old hot end. I have a new one on my X1. And we need another heat set on here, of course. And we have to build a fresh, this has got like $1,000 on it. So we're going to build a fresh X1 hot end. We're definitely going to need this because we'll probably make a mess. So I need to grab my hot end boxes, wherever those might be. So here's my bamboo hot end hoard, but I do need the boxes that I ordered. There we go. I found these at least. Okay, so I do have some hot ends in here. So we have some silicone socks, and we have, that's about all that's in that bag. I don't even think I need them, truthfully. So this is just a steel nozzle that ever focuses. Hardened nozzle, 0.4 millimeter, just genuine bamboo hot end. So you get your thermal grease. You used to not get these silicone socks, that's why I have extra, but we get a silicone sock and we get our hot end with our little clamp there for everything. So I say brand new Bamboo Labs 0.4 hardened steel hot end. I will be stealing this back off of the Rook because I will need it. So, and then we're just going to use this as reference so that we have our stuff going the right way. So these are all my nozzles. Where are my other boxes? Nozzle, nozzle, nozzle. I need my thermistor box. These, all I need for this. So we got our ceramic heaters. So there's one of our bamboo heaters. And then here is a little glass bead thermistor. We need one of each of those guys. So I've got 2 more left. Yeah, almost. I will find them tonight. Okay, so need to start preparing to get things inserted here. So glass bead thermistor goes in there like so, and then our heater goes like that, and then the clamp goes on like this. All right, so the messy part, we need to put some thermal grease on this guy. So we want to put some thermal grease just so it transfers the heat from the heater into the actual heat break really well. And then we want to put some thermal grease on our thermistor as well, so that it transfers the heat and we're getting accurate temp readings. And then we pop our heater on here. And then we slide on the little collar to hold everything on. So just like so, basically just slides on and holds everything in place. And then I'm just going to slide it on. It's about halfway that you're going to be putting this on. Right in the middle of the heater there. So I will clean off all of that thermal grease. So we don't want any on the nozzle. And there we go. We can pop on our silicone sock here. So there we go. $35 genuine bamboo hot end right there, assembled, ready to go. You can push the wires into the channel on the back to some extent. All right, we need the heat sets again. So get that heating up. We're almost done the stream here, I think, for today. And like I say, I'm going to wrap up some of the tedious stuff, like wiring. The wiring is similar to most any other printer. We'll go over it in next Saturday's stream. I'm going to grab the Rook 180 config file. I'm going to make a few changes and stuff like that. Make sure sensorless homing is really good and things like that. That way next stream we can get an Orca slicer going and start doing some printing. We'll show off some Clipper Z-tilt with the independent motors and all that kind of stuff. But I want to make sure that, you know, all the tedious stuff is done. I want to make sure all the belts are tensioned up well and things like that. Okay, so I'm going to put 2 heat sets in here, I believe. Yep. So I am going to thread in a M3 just to make sure that my heat sets are nice and aligned correctly. There's not any weird alignment happening. if your heat sets don't go in straight, then you're going to have a bad day trying to thread in your bolts. So there's one. There's two. So heat sets are just going on there. It's pretty small. But yeah, there's not much else that's needed on Bastion. We've kind of assembled pretty much everything. We have our motors on, the gantry's done, belts are all ran, Zed's all good. I gotta order some M3s, like some longer ones, to mount my FISEC Prusa Mini bed. Like I say, I've got some silicone mounts for the bed. I'll get all that sorted and I'll get the printer kind of just printing, and then we'll talk about the config and stuff like that on next stream. I got to steal another GDS Time fan. So if you are running Dragon Burner, I do have a logo-free Dragon Burner cowl on printables, just the cowl. So there's no Voron logo on the front of it. And then just go to the link on printables to Chirpy's page to get Dragon Burner. Like I say, they support all sorts of different hot ends and things like that. I do recommend running GDS Time fans or Delta. Those are kind of like the two decent brands, GDS Time or Delta. So let's go ahead and get these heat certs installed. All right, there we go. Yes, Honey Badger fans are great too. If you're in the US, grab those from Fabrico. So our heat sets are in there. We'll just let that cool. I think we're done with that for now. All right, so we can get rid of our M3s here. I don't remember what size M3 we need, so let's just see. Is it a 20? 20 is probably too long. Oh, 20 is perfect actually. So it's a little bit counterintuitive when you're assembling Dragon Burner. The wires go at the back of the tool head, and there's not like a really great spot for them, so you're going to basically be routing them like out and around up top. So let's just pop these in here. And you do want to make sure that these M3s are very tight. It's just got these two little bolts holding it in. You want to make sure that it's securing this quite a bit. Well, that was the right length. I had the wrong type of screw in there. That is definitely the wrong size. But yeah, I want to thank everyone for watching. It was a really fun stream. We finally got like a nice, good, long stream in. And like I say, Panda will, or Bastion will be printing next stream. I will make sure of it. So you want to try and make sure that this is like 90 degrees as possible once we get it installed. So we're just going to pop this on like so. This just slides in. Dragon Burner is really easy to assemble. And yeah, like I said, you kind of want to dial in the, get it as straight as possible, and then really, really tighten those bolts down a lot. Because that is all that's holding in your hot end. And I would honestly even suggest, if you can print these parts out of ABS, do so, just to make sure they're you know, temp resistant. It's not absolutely necessary. I've definitely ran PLA versions. You just got to be cautious with that. So, and no, we have 2 more heat sets to put in, of course. And then, like I say, I'm using the HGX Lite because this is very inexpensive and it works very well. We will grab maybe some 10s. Bye, Canrog. Thanks for hopping on. Let's see if some 16s will be okay here. These are probably too big, I bet. Well, might be okay. So we just got to put some heat sets on the bottom here for our extruder. So yeah, look out for a YouTube video on Bastion this week. I'm going to probably try to get it dialed in Monday, Tuesday, and upload a video. I've got more time now, so I can do a video on YouTube on Bastion before stream, and then that way my community knows that Bastion's out and they can get it on printables. I will put the step file for all of you on printables as well. I should be doing that after stream, hopefully. I've got to steal BL Touch off of Cappy because I only have one BL Touch. So I'll steal that off of Cappy and I'll put it on here. So we can get everything working, and then I have to order some M3 bolts still for Bastion, just for the bed. All right, so we can now slide that in. There's a kind of cable guide there for some of the wiring. And then our extruder mount, which is here. I already have the bolts for it. That's going to go on just like so. And Dragon Burner's got a lot of different extruder options, of course. So there's our extruder mount. I think 16, we might even need to do M3 by 20 for this, I don't know. Yeah, I think we're going to do 20. So we'll do M3 by 20s on this guy. That other one was not the 20. That's going to be 20. I don't know why that one's so much shorter, but oh well. And there we go, guys. Dragon burner assembled with the HGX light extruder. Again, these are really great. All metal extruder and motor for $40 Canadian. Even cheaper if you're in the US, so they're pretty cool. Pretty cool. And then Dragon burner just gets held on with 2 long bolts here. I think they're like 40 or 50 or something like that. I can't remember. The bill of materials for Dragon burner will tell you. Yeah, that one's probably even too long, but you can see on the back. 2 bolts go in and they go right into the carriage. Like I say, you just need to make sure that you're routing these wires properly. There's not a whole lot of room, so that you kind of have to run them through here, over and then up kind of thing. So just be careful of that. But yeah, that's kind of it, I think, for stream today, guys. Appreciate everyone joining. Like I say, definitely look out for my YouTube video on Bastion, and then we'll do one more stream on Bastion on Saturday, and we will go through the printer and do some printing, some Rolo cubes, benchies, that type of thing, and just kind of have fun, hang out. People can ask questions on the build, any tips and tricks and stuff like that. So thanks everyone for watching, and I'll catch you guys all on Discord, and I'll catch you on the stream next Saturday. Thanks everybody.